No way, I forgot to put the mic on. That is tragic. My bad, my bad. Thank you, Liz, for telling me. I was there talking to myself and the mic wasn't even on. Okay, so let's just do a little rewind on that. So yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome Jay, welcome Mohammed, welcome Lewis, welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, like the stream, despite me not even having my mic on. If you are enjoying the content, like the stream, it does really help the channel out. But I hope you guys are doing well. Again, guys, any markets you're looking at, feel free to share. We'll take a look at it together. Any pairs you're trading, let me know what time frames you're working on as well. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, check out the Telegram channel. Got a link to that in the description and the live chat as well. I do post my trading setups there, and also check out the recommended broker if you are looking for a broker. My affiliate link is there if you want to use it. But yeah, guys, so USJPY, I was just telling you guys that shorts are looking good for this pair. I was trying to get short on this pair yesterday, but I did say I want to see a break of this support because we keep putting wicks into this area. And yeah, price is holding this at 113,400. So I do expect to see a sell-off for USJPY, and then we had that weakness in the JPY during the stream. Price, skyrocketed to the upside. Pretty much every JPY pair across the board, big push to the upside, but most of them have retraced that move and come right back down. So I think it's a bit of a fake out, grabbing liquidity above those highs, and I think we can be looking to get short on USJPY. So same as yesterday. Hopefully you can get a break and retest of this level, and then yeah, I'll looking to get short on this one. But yeah, I did manage to catch Euro USD longs yesterday. Again, during the stream I was looking for Euro USD longs, also potential shorts as well for this pair, because I wanted to see how the DXY was going to form, but price essentially was holding on to this support here. Like I said, as long as we stay onto that support and as long as we hold onto this trend line, and we see that shift of momentum, I will be looking to get long on this pair and see if we can push it into these highs and further as well if we can get a break. We've seen some retracement over the Asian session. Again, I've already got my stop loss to break even. I'm taking some profit, so let's see how this one plays out. Hopefully this is just retracement, because if I do get a feel of that move, you can see we're coming to the 0.382, the 0.5, potentially could be coming to areas like so. We've also got kind of like another trend line here-ish, or connecting those two prior lows. So I'm still bullish on Euro USD. I'm holding that position. If we start gaining momentum, I'll probably just cut the trade, because the market for me is still overall bearish. The trend is still to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if the market was to find resistance and still see a sell-off, maybe a double top at those highs. So I can still see the market selling off potentially. So if the market does gain that bearish momentum, I will be looking to exit Euro USD and potentially start looking to get short again, because I still do think we can reach these lows. But if we gain momentum, cool, I'll stay in the trade to these highs, and if you can break through, I'll be looking at this area here on the left as well. So we'll see how that one goes for Euro USD. Pound USD, Euro USD, and USD dollars. Okay, so yeah, Euro USD, like I said, I'm bullish on this one. As long as momentum can pick up again, I'm expecting price to continue. We had quite a nice, let's get rid of that, had quite a nice daily candle closure, very bullish. Just move that out of the way. Very bullish there, so we potentially could see a momentum roll over. We still do have a bearish market, like I said. Still, overall trend is bearish on the daily. The weekly momentum is with the bears, and we could roll over at any point really. We do have a really key area of resistance at this level here, which for me is like the main structural high. If we can take that out, then we could be having a reversal. If not, I think we will roll over at this level back down to low. So I think Euro USD probably see another push to the upside and into this level here. If we fail to break through, shorts will be looking good again, I'd say, and we can take it further back down to these lows. If we can break through, then I'm expecting probably a reversal. So yeah, Euro USD, I'm expecting more upside. We'll see how it reacts with that key level 1.13700. Then from there, I will either shift my bias to the bearish side of things, or continue looking for upside. But right now, Euro USD is looking bullish in my opinion, and I'm expecting more upside for this one. And potentially, if you do have a bounce to that trend line, we could see that push sooner rather than later. Pound USD, Pound USD didn't quite move like Euro USD yesterday. Pound USD kind of still lacking momentum, still overall bearish. You can still see the low lows and the low highs forming. We still do have this bearish trend line intact. As you can see, the market is still failing to break through this, and we still have this prior low formed with that wick there that the market is still failing to break through. You can see we're putting some wicks into the same level. So overall, the market is kind of squeezing between the trend line and the support, and we can imagine that the price should break out with some momentum either up or down. If we obviously break to the downside, then the trend is most likely to continue. If we can break to the upside, then we could be looking at, I wouldn't say reversal, but maybe a deeper retracement back up into this key level over here, which is this support term resistance, which we were bouncing off last week. So, which is a 1.33500. So, yeah, it depends which way pound USD is gonna break out to. Again, I'm not too interested in the price action between the trend line and the support. It's quite tightly knit in this area, and I think it's best just to leave it alone. Even in the lower time frames, really difficult to trade, lacking momentum really. So yeah, if we can commit to one direction, then pound USD will be looking a lot better. Whether that is the downside, you know, on the retest of that will be a nice place to get short. Or if it is to the upside, then that'd be a great place to get long on the retest, or if you form a higher low somewhere, potentially on that resistance. Waiting for price to show me which way it wants to go, and then we'll look to ride that wave. Again, when price action is a little bit unclear, it's always best to leave it alone. You know, wait a few hours, wait a day or so for price action to clear up, and then it could be a much better trading setup. But for me, pound USD is still bearish, and if it does keep on, it can actually break those lows and continue further. USD ZAR, we'll take a look at that one as well. USD ZAR. Okay, so yeah, USD ZAR, we were bearish on USD ZAR yesterday. You know, I said potentially price could be getting ready to roll over. We did see that move to the downside. We've obviously taken out this kind of counter trend line here. Still looking bearish. Let me go in the higher time frames quickly. Okay, so yeah, we've taken out that level. So I think USD ZAR potentially could move a little bit further to the downside. I would say kind of this area here. Really nice daily resistance at 15.5. We could probably roll over into this area here. We've broken through that support there. So yeah, support term resistance, maybe a retest of that level, and then the continuation lower. So yeah, I think USD ZAR is getting ready to roll over again, still putting in those lower lows and lower highs. I think we might have a bit of a trend line going on here as well. First test, second, third, maybe get some nice confluence around that area, and then roll over to the downside. So yeah, unless momentum picks up and we smash through this, then we could be looking at a continuation to the upside. But if we just steadily move into that area, we start to see some nice bearish formations around there, I do think USD ZAR will probably roll over, and that could be a really nice target at that daily level of resistance now turn support. So yeah, USD ZAR probably going to roll over. Again, watch price action there, because if you do smash through, yeah, we could be looking at some more upside. But if we don't, consolidation, you know, bearish price action there, high probability that USD ZAR will probably roll over to the downside. Yeah, I hope I did clarify pound USD there for you, Dave. If you want me to run through it again, let me know. Can I go short on pound CHF and USD CHF? I'll take a look at that. Hey Chia, buy Euro USD same as me, nice. Sell AJ for Y as well. Yeah, sure, we'll take a look at that. But yeah, pound CHF. Yeah, so pound CHF did sell off, which we were expecting, because we had that nice support term resistance here. Again, the best sell opportunity was definitely, you know, around these areas up there. Selling it now could be a little bit tricky, because we are coming back into, you know, prior daily lows down here. So you're always running the risk of price finding support and pushing up against you. If you're looking to sell it, got an out of time frame. If you're looking to sell it, I'll probably say wait for a retest of kind of this major, not major, but strong support on the hourly. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 times we react with this level. If we can move up into this level here, find resistance again, react with it, there could be a nice sell opportunity back down into those daily lows, probably where you want to take your profit at. But pound CHF is obviously a massive downtrend. So sells is definitely the best way to go. But yeah, try not to hold on to it too long, because we could look at finding support again and seeing some upside. But this key support here, we broke through. We did see a retest there, so potentially if we can come back, retest it again, that would be a nice place to get short. And then yeah, take that into those daily lows, nice range as well, 80-90 pips. So yeah, it could be some pound CHF shorts. Like I said, probably retrace a little bit more first into that 1.22 area, nice psychological level as well. And then if you do find resistance, pound CHF would look good for sells. And USD CHF potentially as well if DXY continues its weakness, because DXY did have that quite aggressive move to the downside yesterday, which we were looking for. Price was holding onto this area of support, and I said all we need to see was that lower high form before price will fall over, and USDCHF did fall over to the downside. So we are looking a little bit bearish here for USDCHF. We tried to break through this price support here on the left, so you can see here support there gave us a move to the upside. We broke through, put some nice wicks into it. Big bullish candle, couldn't break it. Second candle was just a doji, so indecision. Then we've seen that kind of evening star pattern form there. So it all depends if USD can continue to see some weakness. We are coming back into an area of resistance / support on the 4-hour time frame, which is just generally this area. You can see wicks into there as support, wicks into there as resistance. So if USDCHF can hold this, then yeah, shorts will be looking good back down into these lows here. Maybe not the best risk to reward. If you can get into the lower time frames, maybe a little bit better, but you're looking at about a 50 pip range to work with. But like I said, lower time frames, you might be able to get a little bit better risk to reward. We're obviously looking fairly strong right now, so we do need to see that momentum die out or give us a nice wick and then drop bearish. But if we start breaking through this, I'll probably leave price alone, because it is a little bit messy, I do have to admit, for USDCHF. But if we can find resistance here again, like we did here previously, then yeah, we can just fill that range to the downside of about 50 pips. So yeah, shorts will look good for USDCHF, but do wait for that bearish price actions to start coming back in again, because with that momentum that we're seeing now, we could actually break through, which obviously would invalidate those shorts. ADJPY as well, we'll take a look at that. So yeah, ADJPY came to a really nice area. We were talking about ADJPY on the stream yesterday. I was saying sales could be looking good when we do come back into this area here. You can see this is kind of like a major area where price finds resistance, finds that that lower high, and then it fell to the downside quite aggressively a couple times. Well, actually 3 times really. You can see tested there once, big drop, again big drop, third time even bigger drop. So 81,400, 81,500, really nice area to look for sales. We did kind of puncture through that level a little bit, but since we started to consolidate after, it was up for grabs whether we're going to find resistance and fall over, or find support and continue. And as you can see there with that 4H candle closure, obviously the bears have stepped back into control, and we could see some nice downside here for ADJPY. I probably would look at targeting kind of this sort of area here, because this is where we know we found resistance and we came straight back to previously. So we do have a fairly high possibility of price filling that gap to the downside back down to 8400, 8500 area. If we can snap through that, then we could be looking at a pushback to lows. But yeah, right now looking bearish. Nice shift in the 4H there, especially on that hourly time frame. Really nice hourly candle close. So yeah, nice wicks to the upside there as well. Looking good there, ADJPY. Probably see that nice push into 8500 if that momentum can continue. Looking like a good setup there. What do you think about USD and NZD/USD? How's sell bias for USD and buy for NZD? Okay, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, Euro NZD, I did have a sell bias, well I still do have a sell bias for USD. Again, the bullish trend has been nice, but we're starting to run out a bit of steam now. You can see how price is moving. A big push to the upside previously, and now we're getting that slowed down of price, and obviously that bearish momentum starting to pick up. So we eventually will reverse. we might push on again, but I do think the bigger move for us is to the downside. So yeah, I do have that sell bias for Euro NZD. We're holding on to kind of this level of resistance here. You can see we put some nice wicks into that previously, and we're doing that again. So we potentially could sell off. The only thing about Euro NZD is that it's still kind of holding this trend line here. So potentially could still find support and continue in that bullish trend. We still do have to take that into account. But yeah, I do think Euro NZD could be getting ready to move down. Like I said, it's in a tricky area because it's at a nice resistance, but we are squeezing between that trend line. So we could either have a big push up or a big push down. So, you know, if you're not willing to get short in here, I think the best place to get short probably wait for the break of the trend line, another lower high form somewhere, and then take the drop. Because if Euro NZD does fall, we're likely to retrace some of this bullish price action there. Maybe even come back to some of these areas here for USD, which is quite a drop. So you don't really have to get in at the top. You can always wait for price to push first, get the second lower high or the third lower high. But yeah, bearish bias for Euro NZD, I do agree. It's looking good there. Price can pick up a little bit of momentum. But yeah, still just about holding onto that trend line, especially with that prior 4H candle close there, that hammer stick candle. Not the best candle closure for shorts, but I do agree. And NZD USD, we'll take a look at that one. So yeah, NZD USD, we've had that massive collapse to the downside. Yeah, I still do think NZD USD can turn bullish. Obviously right now, the pair's seen some upside on the daily with that morning star pattern there. We see a bit of upside, but we are coming to an area where resistance, you know, will be there acting as resistance. Prices put a lot of wicks into this area, so we do have a bit of trouble here. If you're looking to buy NZD USD, we can see some upside, but we're lacking momentum, and yeah, it's not really clear for me that the buy is right yet. Right now it's still looking quite bearish overall. The trend is to the downside, momentum is to the downside, so I do want to see it a little bit more from NZD USD. I do agree in fact that we do need to see some retracement now for NZD USD, so the bigger move probably will be to the upside, likely just to be retracement though. But I do think NZD USD should be seeing a move to the upside soon enough. But again, always better to be patient and wait for the best opportunity before we do dive in. But yeah, it's not looking too clear here for me for Euro, not Euro, sorry, for NZD USD. We did have this key level of resistance there, which price had that false break, which I was actually looking to buy for price to continue, but we snapped back underneath, so that was a false break there. So hopefully if we can clear that level again, start holding that support, then we can probably see that reversal, maybe a kind of big head and shoulders pattern there forming. So yeah, potentially as the USD could see that upside, but right now, yeah, there's not enough for me to call the buys just yet. But I do agree with you that the bigger push is to the upside. Your NZD is a little bit more developed than this one. So yeah, need to stay patient for NZD USD, but buys could be on the horizon. Good afternoon, Isaac. How are you doing, bro? Welcome to the stream. Great to see you here. But yeah, I still do have a few pairs that I was looking at yesterday on the watch list. Pound JPY has been interesting. Again, the daily candle closure is still giving us that bearish bias, failing to break through that resistance there. Expecting price to roll over. Yeah, no problem, Chia. Love to see that. Yeah, we do normally have the same bias coming into the markets, to be honest. So always nice to see that confluence, as I call it. But yeah, pound JPY is still bearish for this one, holding below a key level. I do think we can roll over for pound JPY. I think pound's still overall a little bit weak. Not as weak as it was early in the week, but I do think we will roll over for this one. Looking at the daily chart, still failing to break through that local resistance there of the candles, and the momentum is still with the bear, so we are likely just to roll that over for pound JPY. So I was looking for shorts coming into the morning, but we've kind of already spilled over. So I did want to see price kind of make another push to the upside first, and then look for price to roll over kind of at this resistance here. But we've already pushed on, and the risk to reward right now is not looking the best coming into those lows anymore. And I'm not really looking to short into this support here on the left. So I'd hope to see pound JPY make one more push up and then sell off, but we'll probably will sell off anyway, and I think that's just a missed opportunity for me. So pound JPY is still bearish bias. I think that one will roll over. If it does make one move up to the upside, I will be taking shorts. Of course, if price does give us some nice confirmations, but I do think this one will roll over. I think most JPY pairs are starting to look a little bit bearish here. CHF JPY, that one is absolutely messy. You know, that one's crazy. You know, talk about consolidation. That is consolidation to a T. Yeah, so that one's absolutely awful. If you're going to trade CHF JPY, you know, simply look to short the highs, buy the lows, or wait for the breakout, which is probably what I would do. But I'm not really a fan of CHF JPY. Really, it's a very, very messy pair. But yeah, I think it all depends what the DXY wants to do, because the DXY has seen some nice downside, but just like Euro USD, it could be picking up momentum to push back up into that resistance, because we do have a very, very strong level of support going through here. You know, you can see that massive wick over there has created a strong area of support, supply. Price is starting to break through this, and we could still see another push higher for the DXY. So I'm aware of that for Euro USD. If we do pick up steam there, I think if we start picking up momentum and see a strong break of that trend line, I'll probably just exit this trade here. Because again, don't want to hold on to this one, because I am against the trend of the market. If I was in some shorts from here, then I'll probably be a bit more aggressive. But knowing how the trend is forming here, and the fact that we are still failing to take out key structural levels, does tell me that the market will probably reverse bearish. I mean, there was some nice buys here, but you know, momentum can pick up against you. So if you start storming through that trend line and pick up momentum, I'll cut the trade. But if we can get bounced, then we'll be looking at pushing to there, and then we'll see how price reacts with that level. Can sell AUSD. We'll take a look at that. Hey bro, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Love to see that. But yeah, AUSD. Yeah, AUSD is at a really nice place to sell. I do have to admit, we are coming back into some daily support now, term resistance. If you just look at the immediate price action on the left, we've got some nice support there. It gave us a big push to the upside, was resistance over there, and now acting as resistance again. And you can see yesterday's candle, we tried to break through, gave us a wick to the upside, pull back underneath, and today again we put us a nice wick to the upside, pull back underneath. I know this candle's got 11 hours yet, but if we can drop bearish, you know, that would be that wick, and we could sell off. Obviously going to the 4H time frame, really nice resistance down the 4H. So yeah, we could sell off to the downside. AUSD, I was expecting it to drop earlier, but AU just kept that strength going for the whole week. So I do think we do need to see some retracement of these bullish candles here on the 4H, and we could be looking at a push back down into this support, which was the range over here. So price was in this range here, of course, between 0.71700 and 0.71. So I think we'll probably just see a completion of that range into the lows there. So if you are looking to get short, I'll target kind of the 0.71 area, which is this support. If we can break through that, then we might go even further to the lows. But I think your safe bet is looking for a push into this level here. So a push into 0.71 looks good. Price action is looking bearish. I do have to agree with you. Potentially a really nice double top forming there. Nice spikes to the upside. Again, a lot of people will be buying that push just to see the market roll the other direction. So yeah, it is looking good, and I do think we probably will see NZUSD sell off there. Not NZUSD, sorry, AUSD. And if DXY does gain that strength, then yeah, probably will do. And as USD 5-minute time frame sells in the next candle. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Jump into the 5-minute time frame. It's been a while since I've looked at the 5-minute. Okay, so yeah, wait, should I just zoom out for a second to know where we are? Okay, so yeah, as the USD is coming to some resistance there on the hourly and the 4H, and we do have potentially that double top there on the hourly. Okay, yeah, going into the 5-minute, we've obviously taken out a key level of support here. We put some nice wicks into there previously, so nice area of support, supply, support or supply. Yeah, if we can hold underneath this, then we could be seeing price roll over, because the structure of the trend is broken, and we can classify this now as a bearish trend here, especially on the 5-minute time frame anyway. So if we can hold underneath this level, which is 0.68033, hold underneath that, we might get a retest of that kind of local support resistance there. I do think we will sell to the downside. As of price action, we've seen that push, pullback, push. Need to see momentum pick up again. But essentially, as long as your stop loss is above this zone here, you should be fine. And yeah, we could sell off further, and you could have some really nice targets here on the left. Really nice support there, where we, pulled back, found a bit of strength, push on again, found a bit of strength, push on again. So yeah, I do think we can roll over. Targets at 0.6791, 0.67795, depending how far you want to push the trade. But yeah, I do agree. We've taken out a really nice level, strong resistance. If we can hold that, we could roll over. For some reason I can't look at charts. People tried to send me charts in the past to look at on the stream, and for some reason the chart doesn't load. I mean, I can't even see the message, so I think YouTube has kind of stopped that. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what other people's streams, if they can do it or not, but yeah, I haven't managed to actually look at other people's charts with the link they send. So yeah, sorry about that. It doesn't work. But I hope that analysis did make sense for you for NZUSD. If it didn't, just ask me again. I'll run through it again. But yeah, NZUSD, especially with that nice drop down the hourly, strong close there, we could definitely roll over to the downside. But we'll need to hold that as resistance. So I hope that did clarify. USJPY and CHFJPY analysis, sure thing. So yeah, CHFJPY. This one is in a range here on the 4H. Again, not the biggest fan of ranging markets, tend to stay away, but the way to look at a ranging market is just look to sell at the highs and buy at the lows, or wait for price to commit to direction, and you can trade in that trend, of course. So yeah, CHFJPY, we've had a really nice reaction with the highs here, put a few wicks to the upside, so the market's definitely, grab some liquidity there. Stop losses or people trying to buy at the highs, trying to look for the breakout. Price has obviously gained some bearish momentum now, so I would say CHFJPY is looking good for price to roll back over into these lows here. And then yeah, if we can get a breakout, then we might see the trend, we might see the breakout and the bearish trend continue, but overall the market is still ranging. So if we can hold that resistance there intact, which it does look like we're doing, I would expect CHFJPY to continue to the downside, and then potentially some buys. If not, we break out and then we look for the retest for the continuation lower. But yeah, it is looking very, very bearish here. So yeah, just expecting a completion of the range to the downside. Nothing more than that until we see the breakout. Until we see the breakout, and I can go deeper into the analysis and see where potentially we could go. But as of right now, price is simply at the highs of the range, rejecting it, expecting it to roll over to the lows. And USJPY is a pair that I am looking at for some shorts as well. But I do want to see price kind of clear some support resistance on the 4H. But on the daily, we've had this massive drop here. I think price is just consolidating, getting ready to release that momentum again to the downside. And I do have targets all the way down there for USJPY at 112. So I'm looking for the sells here, but right now USJPY does have a very strong support on the hourly time frame, which is kept intact. So I want to see price break through this level, come back and retest it, and then I'll look to get short. Much safer entry than trying to get short up there, where price can potentially turn bullish on us and continue further. So for me, I'll look to get short on this one, wait for the break of the support, take the retest, continuations back down to the lows of the range here, and then potentially you can see price go a lot further. That's 112,600. Could be a nice target, and then potentially 112 if we can break through that low. But yes, USD JPY, CHF JPY, I would imagine them both of those pairs are going to roll over. CHF is already looking quite bearish. USD, we need to see a break of that support first before we can, be confirmed that momentum has shifted. We can look for sales now, because right now price could actually continue higher. So yeah, if you're looking at those sells, wait for the break of that low, retest, which is what I'm waiting for as well. Then you can get some nice shorts after that. Yeah, I can't see the URL in the chat. Seeds, yeah, the URL doesn't even come in the chat, so I can't even copy and paste it. Nice. I mean, yeah, just trying to keep it simple. Price action, if you can understand price action, it does give a lot of information away, especially when you use it with multi-time frame analysis. So yeah, price action is definitely the strongest indicator there is, really, to be honest. I've been trading for about 3.5 years now. Yeah, 3.5 years about. How long have you been trading? Yeah, USD, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. Was looking good when we had that push, but it's starting to pick up momentum to the opposite direction. So if we do start breaking through that trend line, like I said, I'll look to cut the trade here. Obviously, for you guys that don't know, I'm in a long position there for Euro. Looking for at least a push into that level there, but price has obviously picked up strength in the opposite direction. So yeah, we'll see how that one pans out. If not, we'll cut the trade for Euro USD. But yeah, hopefully USD can get the break. Pound JPY, I think that one is gone without me there. Yeah, so I'm expecting Pound JPY to hit those 149 lows at that level. Was looking for a bit of retracement, but I think this one's just gonna roll over. Pound USD were breaking through those lows quite aggressively there as well. So yeah, Pound USD keeps that up. Would expect price to continue lower and just the overall trend to continue. So on the break and retest could be a nice entry there, but yeah, Pound USD looking like that one's trying to roll over. We've got about 6 minutes till that hourly candle closes, but momentum simply just hasn't picked up for the bulls, and we probably will just roll over, especially if the DXY continues to find that strength. So yeah, not looking too good there for DXY. We'll take a look at gold. Okay, so gold here, overall price is still kind of bearish here. We do have support, time resistance down the daily. Price was finding support here, time resistance. We're putting some nice wicks into that area. So I do think gold could probably roll over to the downside here. Looking at the price action, the 4H, we kind of do have consolidation here, but I do think we will roll over to the downside. We've got some nice support, time resistance here on the left. Our price is broke underneath, finding resistance at that, and I do think we will take a nice move to the downside. Targets at this prior low all the way down there. Do you have a bit of a trend line running through the market? I am sure we do. Yes, we do, but it looks like price might be breaking outside of that. So yeah, I do think gold is getting ready to roll over. Like I said, a bit of consolidation there, so the price action is a little bit choppy. You could look to short out that resistance there, of course, but we do have some support that price is struggling to break through. I do think it will break. you can probably wait for a break of that support, and hopefully price can retrace for you, get short again on that. But I do think gold is looking good to roll over to the downside. I think we've got this upper trend line here as well. So yeah, we do have this trend line here as well. First test up there, second, third, might even push in for a fourth, but I think as long as we stay below that trend line, gold is likely to roll over back down to 1760. I think DXY will sell off. Yeah, DXY could do. I mean, after we did see that push, I was expecting DXY to sell off. It did to half an extent. Was expecting it to come down to this wick, but it looks like price is finding momentum again. The thing about the DXY is that, you know, if you go on the weekly time frame, for example, price is still quite bullish. We could easily still see another, you know, bullish candle closing strongly there, and not think too much of it on the weekly because the trend is still very, very bullish here. So on the higher time frames, momentum is still the bulls, so I wouldn't be too confident with the market selling off. The market doesn't have to, it can find support and still continue higher. So yes, it could still do. I think as long as the DXY doesn't snap through this level here, it will do. We do have some support and resistance here that the market's coming to test now, so if it can find resistance there, then yeah, maybe we could sell off. If we start breaking through that, then I think DXY could be coming back up to 96,400, which would be that level there, maybe even higher as well. So yeah, DXY is a tricky one. It is a tricky one because it looks bearish, but it's picking up some bullish momentum. So we'll see if that dies out or not. Euro NZD short thing. So yeah, Euro NZD looking for those shorts. Right now, Euro NZD is in a little bit of a choppy place right now. We do have a nice trend line, which I've just drawn in, connecting those lows. So first, second, third test, bit of a false break, fourth test there. So overall price kind of still holding on to that trend line. But we do have a really strong area of resistance, which price has also been respecting quite well as well. As you can see over there as well. Over there now, this kind of considering as a false break. I think the best opportunity for Euro NZD is to wait for price to really break through this trend line first, you know, pull back, and then we can be looking at some nice lows, nice shorts, to take that back down to this level here. Really nice resistance there, turn support, retrace some of that bullish price action there. So I do think Euro NZD could see a nice drop. There's a lot of room to the downside for it. Right now we are settling into that kind of bullish trend line in the 4H, so it's not the best place to get short. So like I said, if you can break through, pull back, maybe back onto this trend line here, which we have respected a few times now, I do think some sales will be looking good for this one. Take that lower back into that support. So yeah, I would say I'm bearish on Euro NZD, but we do need to see a break of the trend line for those sales to be more confirmed, because selling to the trend line, you know, we could see a push to the upside, because we do still have to take into account that this is still a bullish trend, that this could be another higher low and price could be looking for another higher high. So don't want to sell into a bullish trend, you know, getting prepared for another push to the upside. You want to see price give us that, you know, structural shift back to the bears, and then we can go into those sells. Hey William, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream, bro. Exit UTCHF, enter short on the signal, close AD&D, and enter CAD with partial still in Euro CAD and Pound CAD into Pound CHF. Jeez, so many pairs there. UTCHF again wasn't working too well. Again, it all came down to that level there. Where price kind of just struggled to break through, put a doji in, and then the bearish candle there. So I do think for UCHF, we're probably coming back down into these lows here at 0.91700, especially with that shift of momentum. I think that selling pressure there is just still continuing. This here looks like potentially a double top over here. So first, second, and I think price is going to get ready to roll over to the downside. Again, DXY is a little bit funny right now because DXY is finding some strength. So we'll see if that is short-lived or not. You know, if DXY can sell off again, then that should help bring USD back down to those lows. ADNZD, we did see that big push to the upside. How's that looking? Haven't seen it since. Still looking not bad. Running out a bit of juice, which you would expect after that big push. And we are coming into that wick there as well. But I think if we can manage to take that out, we could be looking at a push into those highs. But we might see some retrace back into this kind of like neckline over here before ADNZD does continue. So yeah, ADNZD still does look good, but it might be seeing some downside now because it does need to retrace. But overall, that was a really nice push there. EuroCAD and PoundCAD have seen some retracement. EuroCAD did see quite a big push to the upside, still in this kind of resistance here. So if it does hold on to that, I can still see EuroCAD to roll over. You can see this for the last time price bound resistance for EuroCAD in this bearish trend here. It broke through and now it's back underneath it again. So if EuroCAD can hold on to this level here, you could see some nice shorts there for EuroCAD to the downside again. Again, momentum for this one is still with the bears, so I will still be bearish bias for this one as well. We just need to hold on to that level, you know, see that push to the downside. If you start breaking through that again, then I'm not too sure if EuroCAD, it might just turn out to be a big consolidation and price could look a little bit funny. But if the momentum can continue, hold on to that resistance, we should roll over. I do think we can still go and take out those lows there on the left. So yeah, EuroCAD's still looking good. PoundCAD, we just about broke through that support, I believe. Yes, we did. Yeah, we closed below. So PoundCAD is still bearish. As long as we don't snap back above on this candle, as long as we can stay below, momentum is still with the bears and we could still push on a lot further. Looking on the weekly time frame just to get an idea of the overall picture of it, I think we are coming back into this area. We might mess around for a bit, but I do think PoundCAD still has a lot more downside back into 1.65, 400 down there. So PoundCAD's still looking good. The bears are still very much in control, holding underneath that support term resistance now. So price can reject it. We should roll over. And the pound CHF short. Yeah, pound CHF still looking short for that one as well. Nice strong close yesterday. Not much width to the downside. Very high chance of us rolling over. Again, had a nice break and retest of that prior low over there, term resistance. And yeah, that momentum can continue. I do expect some new lows past 1.21. We could even drop to 1.2 down there. Really nice downtrend after all that consolidation. Price is now finally releasing itself and we are falling to the downside. So yeah, pound CHF overall looking good. Pound, I'm pretty sure, is kind of weak still. So yeah, if that pound weakness does continue, we should see price action roll over for this one. But yeah, it is a little bit slow, but I do think price is kind of retracing some of the price action it's had over the past couple of days, because this week has been quite crazy. Since Monday, so many pairs have found a lot of bearish momentum, and a lot of the uptrends we've seen have kind of collapsed. Pound AUD, Pound CAD, EuroCAD, Euro AUD, USD CAD as well. So we've seen a lot of momentum in the markets over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish as well. So I think it's time for price to start retracing some of that moves on the lower time frames. Maybe getting ready for another push phase. But yeah, we've seen quite a lot this week, so I do think it's going to have to slow down at one point. Hey Pablo, okay, so you think it might go up then drop, fair enough. Yeah, gold still does have that, you know, imbalance there where it hasn't retraced yet, so it still does potentially can go up and hit those areas. Again, if we do start picking up bullish momentum and start breaking through this very, very strongly, then yeah, that's exactly where I do think we'll go. Again, I think price can still do those, you know, imbalance up there, go retrace those levels, but I do want to see some better bullish price action than that. You know, the structure is, for me, is still quite bearish. So I do want to see the price start to commit to the upside first, and then look for a higher low, and then we can look to trade that push, and then we could see, you know, a big drop to the downside after that. But yeah, I want price to pick up a bit of momentum first to the upside, show me that it actually does want to do that yet. But as you can see, this move to the upside here has been quite corrective, hasn't really found its feet, so I do think it will probably roll over. But if it can break through the trend line and break that resistance strongly, then yeah, we can probably go up and retrace some of that price action up there. So yeah, that potentially could happen, Pablo, but I just want to see that momentum first, and then I could be like, yeah, price is heading up there. But I just haven't seen that bullish momentum just yet. Yeah, sure thing. I'll take a look at GA for you, Legend Pro Max. Yeah, exactly, as Pablo. So yeah, I can definitely see that happen. Price going to retrace price action further up, but I just want price to give me that push yet. And 4 hour is still looking quite bearish as well. So yeah, I need the 4 hour start looking a lot more bullish, and then I could be like, you know, look for some nice long opportunities. But looking to get long here is a little bit difficult, even though, you know, we could definitely go and feel some price action up there. GA. Okay, yeah, pound AUD, massive drop to the downside. This one again, another pair that from basically Monday we opened there with that gap, and from there we've absolutely tanked to the downside. So pairs like this do need to see some retracement, consolidation. They need to take a little bit of a breather. They can't just drop forever. So we could be seeing, you know, a couple of days or a few hours at least of retracement. But yeah, pound AUD on the daily looking very, very bearish. Those two massive bearish candles there to the downside. Snapped through my target for the week, which was this level here. I was looking for price to find some resistance, maybe slowly roll over back down to here, but it's actually snapped through that level. So we could actually be looking at push to lows. I'm not going to call that just yet, but pound AUD looking very, very bearish. So I want to see some upside for pound AUD. Right now it looks like we are reacting with some key 4H support here on the left. So you can see we had a really nice resistance there from that double top, and price is now holding that as support. So we could see some upside. Again, the market is very bearish, so I wouldn't really look for buys. I wouldn't look for sells either. I would want price to retrace for me to look to sell it. But buys are just a little bit aggressive, because looking at that daily time frame, you know, it's going to be a difficult buy really. I mean, I'm not saying price won't go up, but you know, price could mess around for a bit before it actually does find that momentum to push up. So yeah, I would expect price to retrace. You can look for those buys if you want to. Personally, I wouldn't. I'm looking at areas like so, where price has really found resistance and support. You can see a few spikes into there, a few spikes into there. And also, if I do get a fib of that complete move, you can see the 0.382 is around that area. 50% is up there. I'm not too sure if you will get to 50%, but that could be a nice place. The market could, you know, find its feet around here, push up to the outside, and then there could be some nice sells to continue that momentum. So we've definitely taken out some key structural levels there. We've broken through, you know, very, very strong lows here. So now the trend is definitely shifted to the bearish side of things. Want to see a low high form. That could be a really nice area for it to form 1.86, and then from 1.86 we could see some downside. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of looking for buys, and right now the market's kind of consolidating as well. So I'm expecting a push up, but I'm not willing to trade it, which is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday is where everything really happened, to be honest. Again, I've been looking for retracement for pound AUD ever since we did that first kind of push here. I was looking for retracement, but price has never come and retraced enough for me. Had some slight retracement there, but that's borderline consolidation really. But it's dropped about 300 pips, you know, without me getting into the trade for any retracement. So Monday, Tuesday is literally where price picked up all that momentum from, and I think the rest of the week price might start to just, you know, gradually retrace some of those moves. So I don't think we'll see too much craziness coming to the end of the week. Maybe we do have some news events that could cause something, But what I'm seeing right now, I think a lot of pairs need to go into some retracement mode first before we can pick up some bigger moves in the market again. So yeah, I do need to see some retracement for those pairs, not just to trade it, just because how price moves, it moves in waves, doesn't move in a straight line forever. They do need to retrace at some point. So that's what I'm expecting. Pound USD still looking bearish here. We just had an hourly close about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, we closed below that. Again, it's not the most convincing close, but it does confirm to us momentum is definitely with the bears. The bulls have not been able to sustain price here at all, and price is definitely shifting there. So pound USD can well continue further to the downside if it wanted to. Yesterday I did highlight 1.31. We might see a dump into that area down there as well. So if you're looking to trade that, wait for price to probably break through this a little bit further, maybe take out that wick there as well, and then wait for some healthy retracement to get short on this one. Break and retest there might be a little bit too risky for me. So yeah, if price could push on a little bit, retrace, we could be pushing to 1.31 potentially. The trend is still intact and still continuing. Euro USD, we've had a close below that. Momentum hasn't really picked up though, which is the key thing I'm looking for. I'm not too worried about the trend line because it's a little bit subjective, and I could have drawn the trend line like this, and technically we haven't had a break yet, so not too worried about the trend line. But if price does pick up momentum, I will look to exit, because again, it's still very much a bearish pair, and it does look like the other USD pairs could be getting ready to reverse. DXY is not filling me with too much confidence here. We do have some support and resistance here, so if we can reject that, then maybe Euro USD can push to the upside again. But if we start breaking through this for the DXY, I'll probably just close Euro USD, to be honest. I don't want to try and go into hope mode and just hope Euro USD will reverse back up again. We've already seen quite a big push, and price might just want to turn bearish again after that. So I do think if we do turn bearish, the sales will be looking good, because our overall targets for Euro USD would still be the lows down here, which is quite a drop away. So if price does start turning a lot more bearish and the momentum picks up, shorts will be looking good. If we can get a lower high somewhere back down to there, so I'll definitely be ready to flip that bias, look for those sells, and capitalize on that. What do I think of gold? So yeah, we just looked at gold. Gold for me, I'm expecting a price to roll over to the downside for this one. We do have kind of choppy price action here, so overall we are starting to die out in this bearish trend. If you are looking for the buys, I would say wait for a break of this trend line here and for price to show us that shift in momentum, because we haven't really seen any strong bullish momentum here yet. So if you can really snap to the upside, and then we can look for some buys and some continuation. But right now the market is still quite bearish. We still do have this bearish trend line here intact. First, second, third test there. We do have some consolidation right now, but I do think if we can break out of this consolidation here, price will probably leak to the downside, and if you do roll over, targets will be the lows at 1760. So yeah, if gold can break through that low, I think 1760, it might just continue to consolidate until it picks a direction. But for me, the market is still quite bearish right now, and then maybe if we can break through that, we can pick up momentum again and get some shorts. So I'd say best bet would be on the retest of that low. In here is a little bit difficult, but I think we will break to the downside and see a push into 1762, maybe some new lows. But if we do take out the resistance, take out the trend line, then we can be looking for that reversal. But as of right now, I do think gold could be getting ready to fall if it can break through 1782. Good morning, Trends. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well, and I hope that analysis helped, Aaron. What's up, Cartel? How you doing? Do you sell? Any thoughts? 1.31545. We'll take a look. Pound USD, pound USD, pound USD. Okay, yeah, pound USD looking very, very bearish still. We just had a close below that key support there, so we are looking bearish still. 1.315. Okay, so basically 1.315. So around just below that wick then, I would imagine. Yeah, probability looking good. Momentum for the bulls has definitely failed. You can see we're putting a lot of wicks into this area, so that tells us that we were seeing a lot of buy pressure around this area, where price was basically just consolidating. We're putting a lot of wicks to the downside back into that low, so a lot of buying pressure there, and now we just snap through that. So the bears have definitely take charge, and if that momentum continues and this is not a false break, then yeah, pound USD is looking good to roll over, especially into that low, and then potentially 1.31500 as well. Nice psychological level there. So yeah, pound USD bearish. There's no real opportunity to buy this. Pretty much all week there hasn't been any good buys here. It's been very, very choppy, and price is still just putting in those lower highs consistently. So yeah, we're going to roll over probably, unless there's a false break, and if you can sustain price underneath that low 1.316, which is the low of that wick, will probably get filled, and then if we can see a push into that psychological level, I do agree as well. So yeah, pound USD looking good to roll over. Sure, no problem. Parent, happy to help. Yeah, price has been choppy, especially the pairs haven't really moved too much because we've seen a lot of momentum early in the week. But right now, I think it's a bit of retracement mode for some of those pairs that did have those big moves. Looking for CHF JPY long as well, but it's so slow. Should probably just not watch the drawdown. Yeah, CHF JPY has been annoying. Because I do think there's a good move on hand for this one, but you can see price is absolutely chaotic there. It's not looking good at all. Unless you like trading ranges, I would probably stay away from CHF. If you're looking for price to continue, I'll say your best bet would be a strong close above these wicks, because into here it's difficult. I mean, that's a strong bullish close there, but come right back into that area where price puts so many wicks there. So CHF JPY, it does look like it's trying to find the higher low to now push onto the upside. It's coming into kind of this area of demand, sorry. That area of demand there with that candlestick, price kind of tapped into there, potentially could turn bullish. But yeah, it does need to clear that resistance for me to be a lot more confident with price turning bullish. Right now, I'm just classifying that as a range, and it's difficult to trade. So yeah, if you're looking at this on the daily, best to come back, check on the end of the day, because price could do a lot. In this, it could push down. By the end of the day, it could just be a wick, or it could break up, and by the end of the day, it could just be a wick. So CHF, I'm trying to stay away from that one. Well, I'm managing to do so, and I'm waiting for price to give me a clear direction where it wants to go, either up, and then we can target the highs up there, or if it wants to go down, you can target some price action down here. So yeah, that's my analysis behind CHF JPY. It's probably the worst pair, I'm not gonna lie, out of the pairs that I do trade right now in terms of price action right now. But it could change. Nice cartel and sell. Great. Well, good luck with that one. Hope it does play out for you. Hey MJ, no problem. You won't get fined or anything. Have not covered NZD-CHF, so we'll take a look at that. NZD-CHF, yeah, NZD-CHF still very much a bearish pair. You can see it absolutely melted to the downside in the past few days. Momentum is still with the bears. I know we've seen a couple bullish candles here, but again, don't let that try and change your bias. 2 bullish candles isn't going to reverse the trend. We need to see a lot more than that. So NZD-CHF, we picked up a little bit of strength there. Price is starting to lose that strength, starting to consolidate a little bit. We are coming back into a key level of resistance where price last did find its resistance before it did roll over. You can see a nice dump, resistance, and then it fell over again. And you can see right now we're putting a lot of wicks into the same area as we did before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks into this area. So it does tell me that NZD-CHF is getting ready to roll over again to the downside. If we can snap through this level, then yeah, I would probably change to bullish for the short term for some of these levels here on the left. And if you can break through that, then yes, maybe the reversal is on. But right now, price is looking bearish here for NZD-CHF. This overall price action is consolidation. So again, it's not the clearest sell in the world, but I do think we probably will roll over to the downside for NTCHF. So going to the hourly time frame, price action is looking good. You know, if you are willing to take the trade, you know, taking the trade around here could be good, but you do run the risk of price continuing to consolidate on you. You could wait for a break of kind of this support here. Kind of had a forced break there. If you can get a nice true break of it again, the retest, could be some nice sells on the retest of that. But for me, anti-CHF is looking like it's going to roll over, and then you can target some of these lows here of the prior, you know, kind of short-term bullish trend. So look at taking out those lows. So yeah, that's why I feel for anti-CHF. Price is probably going to roll over. We're putting so many wicks into that level. You know, each time we wick into that, we grab liquidity to try and roll over to the opposite direction. So anti-CHF for me, bearish bias. As long as we stay below 0.62800, and then those will be your targets there to the downside, potentially lows as well. But again, don't be too aggressive because we are at the lows all the way down here, and price might find support to reverse. We do have a lot of price action. Price could retrace if it does want to turn bullish. But if you're looking for those buys, you know, definitely wait for a break of that level, and then you can look for buys on the retest. If you're looking for sells, it is already starting to look good. Yeah, how are you doing? What strategy do I use? I don't know. My strategy? Yeah, there's no real like name to it. I would say it's just combining, you know, different concepts together, really to create confluence. So I'll guess confluence trading, if that's the name for it. So trend line, support, resistance, you know, candlestick patterns, structure, momentum, high time frame analysis, multi time frame analysis. Yeah, pretty much all of that just combined together to formulate my bias, and then, you know, just use candlestick patterns to enter my trades. So yeah, there's not really, I guess, price action trading. When price breaks range, you always see a retest, and if no retest, how do you find the entry? For me, I always have to see a retest to find entry. If it just breaks through a range, doesn't come back for the retest, then I don't look for a trade. Because the whole idea behind a retest is to avoid taking false breaks, because most breaks, you know, are false in the market. So if you're taking breaks, you're always up against it. Not saying that's not profitable. I mean, I've never really traded breaks, to be honest, so I wouldn't know. But I've always traded the retest because you can avoid those false breaks. Again, retest is not perfect, but it does avoid, you know, a lot of false breaks that you could have taken if you do trade the break. So if price does break and no retest, there's no trade for us. I mean, the thing about the market, about price, it always does retrace eventually. Say if we do get a break of this level here and price just storms off and doesn't retest, it eventually will lose its steam and it will retrace for us. It might not be onto that level, might be somewhere else, but it will provide us a buying setup to continue the trend if the trend does wish to continue. So it doesn't really matter if we do get a retest or not. It means that we might just find buys later on. But yeah, if it doesn't retest, it's simply no trade. You know, it's either you look to take the breaks or you look to take the retest. You kind of have to pick one and stay consistent with it. GJ dumping, let's see. Yeah, that one's selling off. Again, we had that bearish bias from yesterday. You know, I was talking to you guys about this candlestick pattern here on the daily chart, where we had that key level of resistance, local resistance, candlestick resistance. Price was struggling to break through this, you know, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and then we got that candle where we wicked to the upside, grabbing liquidity, and we pulled back bearish underneath that level. And then yesterday we still confirmed that level as resistance, failed to break above it, and today we're seeing that rollover happen. So just take where we are in the markets. Pound JPY is at a very strong area of support, which we can't forget, because Price could roll over here, look bearish, and then quickly change bullish if it wanted to, if we are starting to hold that support. Obviously we could break through, but if price does want to react with that support, we could see some upside. Couple weeks ago or last week I did say we potentially could see some retracement back up into this area, nice support, time resistance. We could still see price hold this support and then push up and then sell off, but price action right now on the daily is telling us we are bearish. So I would expect price to roll over into 149, maybe break through, spike through. The trend is still bearish. That's another lower high formed, probably putting them below a low maybe. But if you are trading pound JPY or looking to trade it, I probably wouldn't hold the trend, hold the trade longer than that push, just in case we find support on the daily and price goes against us. But yeah, we are definitely looking bearish. Can you buy Euro JPY? We'll take a look at that one. Euro JPY, we've seen price kind of break out this consolidation here. But it looks like price might be breaking back inside of it. So yesterday I was talking to you guys about price potentially giving us a direction for Euro JPY, because we were stuck in this consolidation. I said if we can break to the upside, price, because on the daily chart we had a very key level of support resistance if you look to the left. So that's a very key support, because you can see previously it held the bullish trend here, big push up, found the low, another big push up. Now price is trying to break through it, so it's a very strong support at 128 as well, strong psychological level. So price broke to the upside, which giving us the sign that potentially we're holding that support and we could be looking at upside. However, we never came back and held the retest of the level, and now we're snapping back inside. So again, this here could be a false break, an example why we look to take the breaks and the retest, because if you do take the break here, potentially could be suffering unnecessary, there we go, unnecessary loss, because price could just snap in quite easily and just be a fake out. So we do have to take that in mind. If we were successfully retesting, then yeah, I'll be looking for the buys for price to continue higher. We do have kind of like a bullish trend forming now, with that low there connecting. So maybe if we can hold on to that trend line, snap back above the high, some buys will be looking good. But I would say if price is going to come back into the range, I'll leave price alone. I wouldn't look to buy it. I would wait for price to push back above, because in here is very messy, difficult to trade, and if it's difficult to trade, it's best not to trade it, of course. So yeah, I want price to maybe react with that trend line, start pushing back above the range, and then we can look for buys there with some nice confluence. That's probably your best bet. Buying here could be dangerous, because you could look to buy it right now, push up into the highs of the range and then collapse again, and that should be the false break. So wait for price to commit to direction, pull back, and then we can look for continuation. But Euro JPY isn't looking the best right now. It could just be a false break, because looking across the board, pound JPY looking bearish, CAD JPY looking a little bit bearish, NZ JPY looking bearish, AD JPY looking bearish. So I think the JPY pairs could be getting ready to roll over. So unless Euro is going to be crazy strong, Euro JPY could definitely be one of those pairs as well. Sure, no problem, MJ. Happy to help. Please check US30. Will do. Thanks, Parin. Yeah, patience is definitely the key, because the only bad thing about the way I trade is that if you're not on the ball, if you're not focused, you can create trading setups there and take trades that aren't really there, because it's all about how you view the market, and everything is subjective. I could draw a trend line, someone else could draw the trend line, and the two trend lines be exactly different to each other. Even though we're on the same chart, on the same time frame, it's because the way we see the market could be slightly different. So I could take a buy setup on the trend line, but to someone else's trend line, it's broken through or it hasn't retested yet. So it's always important to be focused and kind of make sure you do have a stack of confluences together, because if not, it's difficult to trade just raw price action and structure. Definitely using indicators does have that advantage, because it's very mechanical. Simply if the indicator says buy, you're buying. If the indicator says sell, you're selling. Whereas if you're trading like this, you know, you can make up buys and make up sells that aren't really there. So if your emotions do get the better of you, you can really struggle. But yeah, US30, US30 still bullish on this one. I think it's time for this one to retrace as well. Again, their indices will fly into the upside Monday, Tuesday. I think it's time for them to find some foundation again, find some support, ready for another push higher. We're coming to a very key level of resistance. We reacted to that with that doji on the daily, but we are coming back into, if I just include that level there as well, we are coming back into a strong area of support, which you can see previously, found support, moved to the highs, found support, move up, we did break through. So I think if we can hold this as support here, we could be seeing some nice buys there for US30. We already are putting some support in actually right now, which is this kind of local resistance over here turned support. So we might not just come back and retest that higher time frame level. We might just, you know, rest on this level here and push on. So I'd say if price can break through this counter trend line here, then you could be looking at some buys there on the break or on the retest if you put a higher low in, and then we could be looking at some nice continuations. But if we do leak into that daily level, you know, watch what price action does at 35,560, then you can look for some buys there. But right now, price is really respecting this resistance here on the left turn support, which could turn us bullish. So I do want to see a break of that trend line, because if not, we might just roll over. We might just tap into that trend line there, roll over again. So if you can break through that trend line, I would say price is looking good to go bullish. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for US30. Either we go into that daily level 35.60, or we hold on to that local level of support. But anyway, expecting price to continue really. Not really interested in the sells. DE30, sure thing. Okay, so for this one, we did come into a strong support not too long ago. Price found a lot of strength from this. Again, Monday, Tuesday, all the indices were looking very, very bullish at that time. I think it's time for some retracement for them now. Again, another retest of some support, which we did break through, never got the retest of, and now we're just getting a retest. So I think we can see some downside from this, a pullback for price to continue bullish again. If we go on the hourly time frame, you can see we are looking bearish. We are snapping through that support there as well, or at least trying to. We do have some levels back here which we never retested. Let's get rid of that. We do have some levels here which we never retested when we did break through. Again, massive candle breaking through that. So if we can slowly leak to the downside, that would be nice. And then you could be looking at buys at 530 to take that higher to the upside. So a nice break and retest of that will be looking good around there-ish. We do have some trendline confluence as well, connecting these prior lows. So first low, second low, looking for that third low for the continuation higher. So back to 530, if we can hold that support, I'd say buys will be looking good. Just continue that momentum, some healthy retracement, and then we look for that continuation higher. So yeah, I hope that analysis helped, but we are looking bullish here. Dump or pump, yeah, I mean, a lot of times you will see that happen. I mean, I haven't actually checked the news for late today, to be honest. Let me actually go and do that quickly, because I do have a Euro USD position, so I do need to see if we do have any US dollar news coming out, or Euro even. Okay, so yeah, we do have some news coming out. So yeah, 1:30 GMT, we do have some high impact news coming out. Again, we'll see what happens. Currently on my Euro USD position, price is kind of just flirting with that trend line there. Haven't really seen price pick up any strength really. So, you know, if price does continue at this, I probably will exit it. I want to see price break through that counter trend line there, for me to confirm that momentum is back on my side, because I don't want to just leave this one just to trickle down and take me out at break even. I'm taking some profit over here, but I do want to see price continue back up to those highs. If not, and we still respect that trend line and price rolls over again, I'll just cut the trade there, and potentially get ready for the sales in the opposite direction, but we will see. But yeah, we do have some news, we do have some news coming out later, 1:30 GMT for US dollar. So if you are trading USD, pound USD, Euro USD, or any other USD pair, do watch out for that, guys. Do watch out for that. Hey Rex, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. How is USD JPY doing these days? USD JPY still struggling to break for that support. Again, still waiting for that break and retest of that low to get short. Still do have the bearish bias for these JPY pairs, USD JPY included, but this one's just about hanging on to that support there. So I want to see a break of that, the retest, and then I can look for the continuation in the opposite direction. But right now, yeah, still just holding on to that. So it's on the watch list, but nothing there yet. Nothing yet there yet for that one. Gold still consolidating in that range. How's pound looking? Pound's still looking very bearish here. So it's still holding underneath that, which is confirming to us that we haven't had a false break. Normally a false break, we normally see price push back up straight away. Obviously we have to make that final judgment at the candle closure, but it's looking like pound will roll over. Pound JPY is looking like that will roll over. So pound JPY back to 49, I'm expecting. 149 that is. And yeah, Euro JPY could well be just a false break there. So we'll take a look at how that gets on. Again, we had some really nice bullish price action there for Euro USD, and that well could just be retracement of it. So trying to give Euro USD enough room for it to play out, but not enough room for it to kind of go against me, which is a tricky one there, because, you know, potentially arguably emotions could be involved in this decision making. Again, normally if prices move, because it's not too far from that first area where I'm looking to take profit, probably about 15, 16 pips away from that first area to take profit. So it wouldn't make sense me, you know, risking to gain an extra 16, 17 pips to lose 60. So it doesn't make sense for that to happen. So if that does continue, I'll look to exit, but maybe we could just be waiting for that New York session, the news, to take this higher. But I've taken profits, so it's not the end of the world if it does stop me out at break even. It was a good push, but if it does come back up, I think the sales will be looking good anyway. So after we do see that push, we'll look for a lower high to take that back down to those lows. And again, you know, that if that trade does play out, then happy days as well. So I can see this one going both ways, really. I'm not really too fussed, because if we do sell off again, I will be looking to get in the shorts, and if we do push on, then obviously I'll just remain in the trade. DXY is just about hanging on to that level. So again, if DXY does react with this one, that could send your USD up. DXY does have a bit of this counter trend line here, so we do need to snap through that. If we can break through that trend line, then it should be looking good for us. We will have to see. We do have a bit of a trend line here for the DXY as well, connecting those lower highs. So yeah, there's some nice confluence expecting DXY to roll over, but it all depends where momentum is, because momentum normally takes control of most things. And if that bearish momentum can pick up nicely, then yeah, we could roll over. And the overall target for the DXY was 95,500. Still is, but we'll see how that happens, because that news could cause, you know, structure to shift, levels to break. We could be looking different, so we'll see how that gets on. But yeah, if DXY can hold on to that, we could see a nice sell off there potentially. So I do have my eyes on that. USD CAD's been a crazy pair this week. We've absolutely tanked to the downside. Again, I've been looking for sales all week for USD CAD ever since we had that first major move to the downside and we saw that daily candle confirmation. You can see nice bearish candle there, giving us that bearish engulfing at a very key level of supply resistance. You can see we spiked into this area, tanked to the downside, spiked into that area, tanked to the downside, spiked into that area, tanked to the downside again. So there's a good chance that price was going to take that reversal because we have been pushing to the upside quite correctively there, and we do need to see that bigger retracement happen, and you know that is a great place for it to happen, of course. And ever since we saw that first bearish candle there, I knew that price was probably going to continue, so I was looking for some retracement the following day, but you can see there price is absolutely just tanked and didn't give us a bullish candle until all the way down here. So USD CAD, I think it's time for retracement mode. Again, that does play into the idea that price is a little bit choppy these days. Not these days, this day. It's a little bit choppy this day. Again, I was looking for a break and retest of this level here, which would have been a really nice place to get short. So maybe price is trying to slowly work its way into that area and then sell off again. Really nice support and resistance there. But yeah, USD CAD not looking great to short just yet, but it could be soonish. Again, if I do get a fib on that, again 50% around there, got the 0.382 there, so some nice confluence around there. It does need to retrace, and I think same for pound AUD, Euro AUD as well. Euro AUD, I was looking for sales for this one. I still am looking for sales for Euro AUD off that first dump there, and looking for price to come back into this resistance here, which is still hasn't tested yet. We almost got the test over there, and almost again. So I'm looking at price retracing to the upside, and then rolling over. Maybe back into this area here. Nice head and shoulders potentially. Maybe reaching for a little bit, but it's the idea that price can form a lower high somewhere to roll over. So yeah, I need to see some retracement for Euro AUD, pound AUD, USD CAD, all those pairs that have been bearish the whole week. I think maybe since we spent the whole week so far falling over, I think the rest of the week could be retracement, so it might as well be next week. You know, we see some good selling opportunities to continue that move, so we might not actually get a trade for these pairs until next week. Yeah, sure, no problem, Patrick. Happy to help, bro. UCCHF still hanging on to that level. So yeah, if you're still looking at getting short in UCCHF, we're still at that place. Price did see quite a strong shift of momentum here, but again, the momentum in the market for UCCHF is still to the downside, and DXY still could potentially roll over. So this is the area where we've been putting nice wicks. Price has been looking to find support here, find resistance here. So if you can hold on to that, I can see a move back down into those lows at 0.91700. So yeah, UCCHF looking good to roll over. Again, confirmation is not there yet. We haven't seen much bearish momentum either, so definitely not get short to this one blindly, but it's at a nice area and we see that shift of momentum, nice candlestick pattern. Shorts will be looking good. I probably wouldn't look to take this trade simply because I'm already in a euro, I'm already in a USD position, and with the news coming out later, you know, there's no need for me to overexpose myself to US dollar during the news. I've already got a position on as well, so I'll just see what happens with this. But again, weak dollar would mean Euro USD up, USDCHF down. So it could be a nice setup. In fact, if I do see a setup there, I'll post it in the Telegram. Again, I probably won't trade it, but if it is a good setup there, I will let you guys know. Gold is looking like it's trying to break to the downside out of these lows here. We'll see if it can manage to. It's got 15 minutes before that candle closes. But yeah, I do think gold will roll over. It hasn't found any bullish momentum. Again, a little bit like pound USD, how pound has been bearish, but it hasn't really seen that much momentum. You can compare the trend now, so you can compare the trend to when it first really started to kick off. It is losing that momentum, but you can't look to buy just because it's losing momentum, because there is no bullish structure here and you will be losing money here. Very, very difficult to buy reversal when the price action is looking like that. Same thing for gold, still overall bearish. So yeah, there's no real buy there. We need to break through that trend line, commit to the direction first, start to compete with those higher lows, and then we can look for that reversal. But right now gold is still bearish, and if you do pick up momentum and break through that low, I can see gold making that move to the downside. So yeah, gold, I'm seeing that sell off if we can break through that support, because we can still range, break through that support, and I think on the retest or a low high somewhere, maybe I test that trend line, could be a nice place to get short, and then take profits around there, and the low there. So yeah, gold looks like it will roll over. We'll see how momentum continues. Again, I don't really trade gold too much. I haven't traded it in a while, to be honest. Probably since, when was the last time I traded it? Yeah, somewhere around here, last time I traded gold. So yeah, it's been a few days. Rest in peace to the bulls. Are you talking about gold? Rest in peace to the bulls. I mean, it hasn't taken out that low yet. I mean, I would imagine if people were bullish on gold, their stop loss will be below that wick. So it looks like it's trying to come for them. But yeah, if it does snap below, it will definitely be rest in peace to the bulls. And in a market like this, you would definitely see a lot of buys, a lot of sells here. So when it does snap into one direction, it would be taking out a lot of orders, and it probably will do it quite quickly as well. And knowing gold, it does love a sharp move. But yeah, markets have been a little bit dry today. Euro's pulling back at that resistance. Again, not the best sign. Yeah. I mean, indices are strong. Indices are strong. They might be retracing today, but they are very, very strong. But this market this week has definitely been heavy with the bears. Heavy with the bears across multiple different markets. So yeah, the bulls would have been slaughtered this week. And I say that I know I'm in a buy position for euro. Sure thing, we'll take a look. Yeah, okay, so another indice which has pumped to the upside Monday and Tuesday. Break and retest, I believe. Yeah, break and retest of that previous high, which again is what I was saying previously in the stream about break and retest. Sometimes you do have to wait a bit longer for break and retest to happen. Doesn't always retest straight away. You can see here we broke through, never got the retest. We did fall over, potentially waiting for price to come and retest. It didn't, and then we got the retest over there, and then we had the reaction. So that's why I keep telling you guys that when we break through a level and we never retest it, it's always a great place to look to target your trades. Again, you do have to be reasonable. Can't really look to target a break and retest level all the way down there. But recent levels that are not too far away are great places to target, because price normally is gravitated to those levels to come back and retest them, whether they react to them or not. But price is normally quite gravitated to those areas. So had a nice retest there. Prices look quite bullish. I think we will see some retracement. So I did say for for this market. 16,400 is a very, very key level of resistance, which price has tested once. False break there. Again, they're giving us the head and shoulders, and now it's back at that level again, which we potentially could actually sell off from the way the structure plays out. So for this pair to actually be bullish, we need to break through 16,400, and then we can tap into those highs, maybe even further. So I'm expecting some downside for US 100. It looks like we're putting that double top in there potentially as well. We do have kind of this area here where we put in a lot of wicks. You can see a lot of wicks there. 1, 2, 3, wicks there as well. We wicked into that as resistance. So around the 16,120, 16,160 area. If we can roll over back down to this area, I would say buys will be looking good here to take that higher, target back against 6400, and if you can break through that highs. But yeah, we could be going for that kind of exaggerated inverse head and shoulders, to turn bullish again. So this would be your right shoulder, and that'll be a nice place for buys. So if you do start to stall at that level, I would say buys are looking good. Right now we're looking bearish. Again, I think indices are very, very bullish right now, so I wouldn't bother too much with sells. Maybe on the lower time frames, yes, but in terms of the swing, I think it was still strong to the upside. So yeah, if we come back down, respect this level, nice demand in there as well. I do think we see that bounce to the upside, and you can target 16,400 key level of resistance, and then if you can break it, highs. Pound AUD trend reverse for the buy. Yeah, I'm not sure about pound AUD. I mean, I do expect pound AUD to move up. It looks like it's breaking out that consolidation, to be honest. Oh, I'm on the 3 hour. So yeah, pound AUD is at a really nice level, 1.84, really nice psychological level. If I go in the 4 hour, you can see price is reacting with this double top here. Now turn support, and looks like we are breaking out that consolidation. So pound AUD for me is in desperate need of retracement, because we tanked a couple of days now. You can see on the daily chart a lot clearer. We tanked 3 days there, mainly 2 days, which we do need to see some retracement. Doesn't have to be anything massive, but we do need to see some retracement. So yeah, I'm not a fan of taking the buys after this. It's very, very aggressive, seeing what the higher time frame momentum is looking like. You can see those two heavy bearish candles. I'm not saying we won't push up, because I think we probably will, but over my experience, taking trades like that is not the highest probability trades. The highest probability trade, we wait for price to retrace for us, and then taking a sell after we've finished the retracement. So pound AUD, you can look to buy if you want to. Just know that you are up against the trend, and you are up against the high time for momentum. But I do think we can push on back into this area here, which is where I'm looking for price to go. Really nice resistance there, really nice support there. Looking for a push up into 1.85800, back up into there, and I'm looking to sell it off again. So yeah, pound AUD, I do see it rolling over, but I think we'll push up first and then roll over. So you can look to buy if you want to. Again, not something that I will look to buy, so it's completely up to you. But if we do get up here, I'll definitely will be looking to sell it back down again. We will watch it. But then, I mean, I just did US 100. I can look at US 30 for you, no problem. Again, I still do have about 7 minutes left of the stream. I don't know why I just picked up the cup. There's literally nothing inside of it. It's a habit now. So yeah, US 30 overall still looking very, very bullish here. Two massive candles there on the daily. I think we're seeing that retracement now. We do have a key level on the daily at 35,524. So really strong support there, and price looks like it's coming back down to test that. I was speaking on US 30 earlier. We were holding on to a nice area of resistance and support on the hourly time frame, just above that daily area. So as you can see, really nice resistance there. We broke above, we get to with support. So price has been showing us nice respect to this area. So you can potentially look to get long from this. but I'll need to see a break of that trend line first to confirm that and for price to continue. But like I said, the higher time frame level is looking very, very attractive for those buys. So if we could push back into this area, start holding that as support, I do think the buys would be looking good. Again, kind of like an inverse head and shoulders again, very, very exaggerated head there, but you know, basically finding support there again. This could just be a massive false break, and then we can see the continuation. So yeah, I think 35.24, which is this support here, could be your best bet for buys if we don't hold on to that kind of local level of resistance and support in the hourly time frame. If we do go and break through, watch the price action here. You know, you can see previously we put a lot of wicks into that area, so it is a strong support, and if you do hold into that, then we'll probably see some nice buy setups there. So yeah, bullish on the indices still. I think they're retracing now, which could be another good sign to get along again. But yeah, slight retracement, and I do think we'll probably continue further, but we're looking a little bit bearish now, so not just yet. No problem, no problem. How's USJPY looking? So yeah, USJPY still hasn't really done much during the stream, to be honest. Still hanging on to that support. So basically my bias is still the same, bearish, and the way I want to trade it stays the same as well. I want to see the break of that support, the retest, and then I can see the sell off to the downside, and that is all. And that is where I'll look to take advantage of the opportunity. Right now it's at the support where it could potentially turn bullish again, so no shorts for me. Euro USD, how are you looking? That's pulling back. I'll probably look to exit Euro USD if that momentum does continue. Looking at the DXY, if DXY snaps above this support here and that trend line, I'll probably look to exit. Because again, you know, just doing the risk to reward, it doesn't make sense for me to stay in this trade. You know, I was up at 1.63 pips, so you know, I'm not going to risk losing 63 pips just to gain an extra, you know, 17, 18 pips to the upside there. So we've already retraced about 40 pips there. I did take some profit up here, but yeah, I'm not willing for price to come back for the break even. Doesn't make too much sense. And as well, price on the higher time frames, it's still very much in a bearish trend here, and we can definitely roll over. A subscriber, welcome to the family, much appreciated. Again guys, if you are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. It does really help the channel out, and I do really appreciate you guys. And yeah, if you do enjoy the video, like it as well. It does help the channel out as well. But yeah guys, Euro USD is still very much a bearish market. You can see that massive dump here. This price action could just easily be retracement for price to continue bearish. So I won't marry that trade. You know, taking the buys is always a bit risky in this type of price action. The buy trade was very, very good. It was very, very clean, and we did see that push. But if the momentum doesn't carry on, you know, it is giving me a sign that the bears probably stepping back in control of Euro USD. So yeah, if that momentum doesn't pick up again and I don't see a break of that trend line there, I'll probably look to cut the trade. So, you know, but yeah, I definitely will be looking to get short on your USD though. If we do pick up momentum again, I'll be looking for a lower high somewhere. Maybe you can get a third test of that. That could be a lower high forming. Could look for another one just to roll over back down to these lows at 1.12. So if you do turn bearish, I'll just happily look to get short on this one again. Again, it's not about winning every trade. It's about, you know, losing less. So yeah, last couple minutes, if you guys want me to take a look at a certain chart, certain time frame, let me know, put it in the chat before I do end the stream. But yeah, we'll quickly run through some of the pairs on my watch list for the rest of the week, because we're coming to Thursday, Friday now, so the week is slowly coming to the end. But yeah, I still think the JPY pairs can roll over. So use JPY, I'm still waiting for the shorts there. If we can break through that, of course. If not, I'll leave the pair alone. Pound USD, I'm probably going to leave alone. Risk towards not looking the best. And yeah, we do have some news later, so I'll probably wait for the news to happen, see what happens after the news at 1:30 GMT, that is. And then after that, I can make a more informed decision of where pound USD potentially could go. But if you do stay bearish, I'm looking at price to fill the wick there to the downside and then potentially push into 1.31 down there. Pound JPY was looking for sales for this one. We were holding onto that really nice resistance on the daily chart, failing to break above this area here. And I do think we're just going to roll over into 149. So yeah, I think 149 inbound for pound JPY. Going to sell off again to these lows. Was hoping for some retracement just before London came in, but we just fell over, so didn't manage to get entry for that one. But pound USD for me is looking like it's going to come into 149 there as well, so I do have eyes on that one. But yeah, other than that, just going to look at Euro USD, see how that one plays out. If we don't get a break of the trend line, I'll probably exit the trade anyway. But yeah guys, it has just rolled over to 12, end of the stream. Hope you guys have found it useful, enjoyed the stream as well. Again guys, like always, if I do see any setups and you know, any setups on my watch list, I will let you know on my Telegram, so feel free to go check that out. It's in the description. It's in the description below, or it's, if you scroll to the top of the live chat, I do have my link to my Telegram there. And also, if you're looking for a if you're looking for a recommended broker, if you're looking for a broker, I recommend IC Markets. I do have my affiliate link up there or in the description as well. Feel free to check that out as well. But yeah, guys, it's come to the end of the stream. Currently in Euro USD, you know, if we do pick up that momentum to the downside, I will exit this one. If I don't see a break of that trend line as well, I'll probably just exit anyway. I have a few pairs I'm looking at, and I'll let you know if I do get anything. But I hope you guys have a great day. You know, thank you for joining the stream. I do appreciate that. You know, have a good weekend as well. I will be doing my analysis on the week as well. So be sure to look out for that. But I hope you are, hope you guys are well. Good luck trading. Again, don't blow your accounts. Watch out for the news we do have coming out at 1:30. So do watch out for that. But yeah, guys, hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.